Welcome, everybody. I am so enthusiastic and excited to bring our special guest for our Details University live class this month for October. We have Karen Oie from Smithers-Oasis. She's the head of sales and marketing. I believe you're the director of sales, and you probably have.
It's not marketing. That would be Laura. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yes. See, here it's all combined, but you're a global brand, so just sales. I love it. But we are going to do a deep dive into how you got started in the industry, and I want to talk about some fun things with Smithers that you guys have going on. So, welcome to the show, Karen. I'm so pleased to have you.
Agreeing so much for the opportunity. Very exciting, right? I wish I had pretty flowers behind me like you do, but
Oh,
it's okay. You're the host, S.
okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
I've been in floral for just over 10 years. I just celebrated my 10-year anniversary with Smithers in July, actually. And I came out of a long-standing career in the paint industry. And one of my previous VPs from the paint industry moved into floral and called me one day to say, "Hey, do you know anyone looking for a job?" And I said, "What kind of job?" And it turned out to be director of sales. And I said, "I'd actually be interested to interview and see if that's something I would want to move to." And Anne's answer was, "No, Karen, you've got a very successful career in paint. Why would you leave?" And I said, "I think it's kind of a good time for me to change."
Yeah.
Midway through my career, and I thought, gosh, if I'm going to make a move, now would be the time. And I interviewed and I fell in love with everyone just through my interview process, and the rest is history. Here I am later. So 10 years.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and to work for such a global brand like Smithers Oasis, I'm sure every florist in the country has one of your boxes of product in their studio at somewhere. Um, what did you think when you entered this? Because I know Anne, if she's the one who's interviewed, I'm recognizing, but they have such long tenured employees there. So you were coming into kind of a very well-oiled machine with lots of people that have a lot of love and passion for this industry. So that was probably really a great group to be surrounding yourself with.
Amazing group. I think back to my first convention was Amelia Island for SAF. And I think I met you. You had just come into the industry and we had breakfast together. I don't know if you remember that, but I was a deer in headlights walking into the room, all these people that I don't know coming from an industry where I knew everybody, right? So that was very intimidating. But between the speakers and then I did a golf adventure at the convention and the reception by the beach, I can see it clear as day. I fell in love with the people. It's just incredible.
Yeah. Aren't you glad you didn't enter the tire industry or something, apply for.
No offense to the tire industry, but
Yeah, no, they're great, but it doesn't have the same fragrance. It does have one I really, really can appreciate, but flowers steal the show. So what was something like in your earliest like memories that helped shape you and like um I don't know, why flowers? Like what is great about this industry?
I will say this industry has truly raised me professionally more than I've been challenged, I think, before. And we probably go through cycles of our career. But the earliest experience for me here is just understanding the people. And I spent a lot of time getting to know the people within our own company at Smithers, within
Mm.
industry outside of supplies, because for people that know Smithers, we're supplies, but I wanted to get to know people in every part of the supply chain, right? Grower to fresh to wholesale, et cetera, et cetera. But really, for me, I've found quickly in the floral industry that business runs on relationship. It doesn't run on transactions. And the world I had come from before was very transactional. So I'm glad I invested the time to get to know people and understand what makes us tick in floral. It's very different.
Yeah, and I just to give a little bit of background of you're very involved in the industry, and I think that that comes from like just an educational place too, like just to kind of learn more and how better to learn is to jump in and meet the people and go forth. But are you one of the first women to be president of the wholesale and floral distribution conference and association? Because I was doing a list and the next woman comes back to like 2004. So I know it's been around since 1926, but how many women have sat in that seat at that table?
I hope I don't offend anyone with this. Marla Odell was president when I just came into the industry. I looked up to her for that. I thought, gosh, one day I want to be president of WFSA. So I had some big conversations with Marla to kind of get myself mentally ready for that. I think there might have been two female presidents prior to Marla. I believe our total is four in all of those years. So big honor. I'm still sitting in the past president seat, very very involved, but very honored to have had that position.
Well, that was one of the first conferences that I went to as a new person, like really jumping into the industry to kind of understand, like, where do we fit in and what, just understanding how all the products come in. So I think that's really interesting from a fresh flower conference to have someone on the hard goods side too that's running basically the show there or dabbling in all the components. You took on a lot this year too, because I know, and this isn't any part of this, but I think you did a new website, you did new branding, like, they're like, "Karen, you're so good at all these things here, do this too." No.
We did do a lot with WFSA this whole past year. We launched a new brand logo, new website, up and improved DevX experiences. I mean, we did a lot. We did a lot.
Yeah.
That's the mission, right? You've got to go.
Yeah. Well, I love that conference, especially for florists, and not as many florists will attend that because it's mainly for wholesalers to kind of learn. But you can see so many new products and just get inspired in so many ways. And that's part of what this weekend I went to in Anaheim with the massed flower is just you see how everyone is just rolling out the stops and really putting on presentations. And that's what we're all trying to do is interact with people, create relationships. How can we make more sales? So I I assume there's a lot of weight on your shoulders at Smithers to, like, always have things increasing or doing better.
I mean, that's what we all try to do, right? We all want to grow. We all want to improve our sales and our profitable sales. That's always a good reminder to everybody too. But
Yeah.
um, back to the last 10 years and my involvement, I jumped in so fast into WFSA was my first, every convention I could get to, volunteering on committees because I wanted to get to know the people faster, right? I was in 40s when I came into floral. And again, I needed to have that network of people.
Yeah. Well, I can't encourage people enough to jump in and be just like you because before you know it, they realize they need leaders and they need new ideas and fresh ideas. And I feel like that you brought so much of that to the table. I remember the first time meeting you, I was like, wow, such a poised, beautiful woman, well-spoken. I think that we need more representation of that in the industry. So I definitely think Smithers is really lucky to have you, like Woofsa, and also now that flower feeling. You're very involved in that, and thank you for having me join that board, because I know I love to learn a lot, but we need to inspire more people to consume more flowers more often for any reason at all. So can you tell me more about your involvement with that flower feeling in case people aren't familiar? Which they
Sure.
might be because I
So
do.
that flower feeling, gosh, when they first invited me on, we had what was called an advisory board. And I was so flattered. I'm like, wow, okay, me. I mean, I'm supplies, right? But what I quickly learned and accepted that position right away was supplies follow the flowers, right? The more flower consumption, likely the more foam, glassware, wire, whatever the mechanics might be. So this is where that flower feeling is so wonderful for collaboration is we are all in it together no matter what piece of the supply chain or food chain or flower chain that you are part of, right? Is we're all in it together. And then we evolved into board of directors and now you're on that with us, which is awesome to have you and your perspective on there as well. I also lead the development committee as chairperson for that, working alongside Lisa Nason, who chairs the marketing committee. And again, we're just elevating so much with that flower feeling right now, and we're just getting that momentum going. I could go on and on if you've got other specific questions about that, but
No, well, I just think it's so interesting to see how that organization is helping the whole industry thrive because really we have such a powerful ecosystem. And if we work together to really create more community engagement by getting involved and like looking up to the people who are stepping into the challenge, you realize that maybe it will be easier for others to like take part in that too. And like that's the message I want to send home. I mean, um, and I do want to also mention like how much effort and love and time and money that Smithers puts into almost every event, all around the globe. I mean, I feel like Smithers has really got a strong representation everywhere, and I hope people appreciate that because there's a lot of effort and money that goes into sending people and products just to get your product in front of people. But it supports almost every event we've been at, from the
For
AISD convention. You guys had a huge presence there, and I know the, amount of products that you send to that to help these design showcases go off, and I just want people to recognize that, so when you're stocking yourselves, you're like, "You know what? They help out a lot, I'm gonna support them," and I
Yeah, and thank you so much for recognizing that. I know we talked a little bit before we had everyone join us, but we're global, and a lot of people may or may not know that. And again, we have different divisions that touch on every aspect, right? We've got a grower division, we've got our wholesale division, we've got a floral life division. So we have multiple divisions across multiple operating units around the world as well. And what I love about our CEO Robin's vision with Smithers is, yes, we have brand integrity. We follow across every aspect of every brand and every business unit, but she really allows us the freedom to act locally with what we do, because what we do here in North America is very different from what we might do in Belgium or Holland or Korea or other operating units, right? But that overall message and consistency as a company that we bring forward in our products, our brand quality, et cetera, is very common across all of our different operating units as well.
well, it really, goes to show how a lot of companies need to operate, and just that communication, because your brand has to stay consistent, and it goes down to even the smallest company in their local area. You have to be consistent when you're making those sales. So is there any, like, key ingredients that you think are, like, effective strategies, given, like, no matter where your business is, whether if you're a small, like, studio florist or, like, a giant brand like Smithers, is there, I don't know, is there one common denominator?
I would say there's multiple, but for me, and I'll speak for me, right? I think everyone has their own what makes you successful and what makes you tick. For me, it's communication,
Mm.
alignment, collaboration. Those are the really big three pillars. That are there three pillars, maybe two, but you know what I mean. To really strike on those for a recipe for success, no matter what your business is. You could be a single person entrepreneur. If you're communicating, collaborating, and aligning with your goals or other people's goals, you'll see success. I, as an example, took over our customer service team at Smithers just this past spring. And before that, operated under a different business unit. I've managed sales in North America. Now, again, alignment and communication with having customer service and sales working under my leadership, with my leadership, it's incredible. The communication has stepped up because you know what? We all have common goals, right? We're that front facing line, whether you're on a desk with a headset or you're in the field grinding it out every day, we all have the same ultimate goal. And so I'm finding strength in that as a leader as well. And I would recommend anyone to take a look at your business model. And if it's not jiving or something needs to be impacted or changed, go for it. Try it. If it doesn't work, fail fast, move on, right? So, just those kinds of things. For me, it's communication. I'm sure I drive my team crazy because I tend to over communicate sometimes, but I'd rather them filter. You're rolling your eyes like you probably do the same, but I'd rather share as much as I can that I can, and then they disseminate that information and take it to what they think is valuable to run their day to day business. So, communication, collaboration, alignment.
Yeah, no, I can agree wholeheartedly. And I feel like I do kind of, re-say the same things over and over again, but it's kind of comes down to like what your core values are, what you want the messaging. And when that person on the front lines and you're not in their ear, they can like lean into those things that they remember, or what is the way that we approach this. So I think that that's fair. Is there any like certain app or tool that you guys use to communicate? Like here in our office, when we're discussing things, we have it Slack. So I usually have like thousands of blinking lines of Slack. Is there any tool that you guys have, like, implemented at Smithers that you're really just quite fond of?
I mean, our platform is Teams. We chat on Teams. We post things on Teams. We have our meetings on Teams. We have a group text chain that we try to keep going, if it's little things like somebody's birthday or little fun facts to drop in or little motivation. But I would say the bulk of our communication is Teams, unless we're on to one-on-one calls or those types of things. But yeah, we don't get too fancy.
No, that's fine. Just going to this produce show, and for anybody who hasn't attended this, this is like where all the flower companies go to sell to all the supermarkets. So they're like selling all kinds of products and wild things. And I just started thinking, like, if your demographic is in, Howie in the Hills, which is like a lot of older folks, that you probably sell much different products than you would be stocking your shelves for, say, like Miami Beach, like that kind of neighborhood. Are there different things that you guys track from a sales perspective on knowing what the trends are or what they're going to be based on like what is still sitting on the shelf or what is like completely sold out? Or how do you take all that data and make like strategic decisions from, like, I don't know, from your position? Because I imagine you're probably looking at tons of data.
We do. Again, my team will laugh. I like data. I don't like running data, but if other people run data, hey, all day long, I'll look at it to try to make some smart decisions as we move forward, right? We've got multiple items at Smithers, not just one or two. But our decisions, a lot is driven by Laura's marketing team, where they do new product development, trend forecasts that they collaborate literally with everyone around the world. So we're pulling from our own operating units. Hey, what's hot in England right now? Or what's happening in Paris right now? And we take a lot of that and say, okay, will that work in the North American market? We sit on different panels. We follow, I mean, as simple as paint trends. We get a lot in the color world of the Pantone of the year, right? Which some people roll their eyes and go, oh, it's a little bit overdone, but it's at least directional, informational to say, where do we need to be? Do we need a piece of blue glass because that's the hottest color coming up this year, or do we stick with clear? So we do definitely have a pipeline of a new product development process that we build at Smithers, and we copy from different units if they're successful, right? Why would we recreate the wheel if we don't have to? But our marketing team is on top of all of the trends all the time.
Yeah. Is there anything specific that you can see currently happening in the industry right now? Or
Well, the big buzzword, right? Sustainability is the big buzzword, and I don't think it's going anywhere. So, if I can just take a couple of seconds for us, the big global launch, if you haven't seen it, I know you personally have, but to the viewers today, check out Oasis Renewal Foam, because this really, really feeds into this whole sustainable message where it is the first floral foam in the world that is entirely renewable and has bio-based ingredients. Now, someone's going to go, "What the heck does that mean, Karen?" Basically, we're not using petroleum fossils or fossil fuels, excuse me, in the floral foam. So we're relying on pure, sustainable, plant-based products. This is revolutionary, and the best of my knowledge, this is the biggest global launch we've had, if not ever, in a very, very long time. So, for people saying, well, what does even that all mean? It really means we've got the same excellent properties in the renewal foam as we do in our classic foam that everybody is used to. And it's ideal for all flowers, all occasions. And it's a pretty big deal, right? So, again, as we look at what's next at Smithers, we're always looking to try to fit the trends, sustainability models, whether it's in our Oasis products or our Flora Life products or even our Design Master products. We're always looking to evolve.
yeah, I think it's so necessary. It's definitely a hot button topic. It was on, I think, display at the UK show. So I feel like sustainability is even a heavier topic of conversation over there. Or they're really snarky about it. Some people, but there was a speaker, I think it was Joe Massey, who was like, we all can take efforts to be more sustainable in our daily practice, whether it's reusing something over and over or the process for which we are filling our buckets or just doing things in our own life. And so I feel like, I mean, in my view, oftentimes Oasis gets hit with that the hardest because you create a product that revolutionized the way florals were created for a long time, but now that we get educated, it's really nice to see that you guys are listening and taking efforts, and it's probably millions upon millions of dollars of research dollars that are spent to come up with something better. Like, you invented the wheel, but it's like, okay, we have to reinvent a better wheel now. So it's like, but uh,
Yeah. Stay with the trends. Gotta stay with the trends. And we've got a research team. I don't mean a singular research team. We've got multiple research teams, but they're looking years and years in advance of what's next. So don't kid yourself. Renewal foam wasn't just born in 24 hours, right? It's been
yeah.
years. And we wanted to make sure before we launch that product or any future products, they've got to be top notch.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's interesting because when I travel around events and I have seen Robin really get approached a lot of the time. And I thought, what a really remarkable CEO to be able to have intelligent conversations about the products and answer these in like the best way. And I thought she is definitely someone to like learn a lot from. So I think it's really nice you guys are she is collaborative, I feel like in the business because she's a lot boots on the ground. I see her at a lot of events.
She's very collaborative, and that's one of the big buzzwords in our core values as a company, right? Is collaboration and value the people and value others. And really, Robin strives to push, not push because that sounds harsh, but to just get us all wrapped around collaboration. And it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to do this. If you've done something wrong, admit it. Let's move on and learn. So very, very collaborative culture. It's very fun.
How would be a successful collaboration look between like all the suppliers, wholesalers, florists? What could we do to be more collaborative as an industry? Because I feel like that is probably the only way for us all to be profitable is like to work together and kind of know.
Agree. And I'm going to mention that flower feeling again, right? You've probably felt it where that flower
Mhm.
feeling is a collaborative effort with everybody in the industry. It's not about one person or one business type. It's about how do we as an industry shift the culture of our consumer to sell more flowers. That's what we want to do. So I've
Yeah.
learned that just in my time on the board at that flower feeling, but in a day to day, how do we as an industry lift? We all have to trust each other. We all
Mhm.
have transparent with each other because we all ultimately have the same shared goal, right? Whether we're selling flowers or whatever it might be, a value add, anything is if we trust each other and we're transparent with the challenges we face in our industry, let's face it, we have challenges, right? Then we all come together, then we can conquer. And I always say, we're better and stronger together. So I always keep that in top of my mind as I go through my day-to-day business. I collaborate with our competition all the time. We serve on boards, we serve on committees. We've done recent sales training where we've had direct competitors come in and we're all standing in front of a group giving a sales excellence training. But it's great, right? It you learn from it. It builds character. It builds trust. And really, at the end of the day, for me, that's what it is.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of people outside of our industry, and I'm always struck with how much other industries don't cross collaborate as much as the flower industries, because that's true. I mean, everybody that's strong competitors against each other is all sitting on these committees at these large organizations trying to solve these giant problems. And it's like if we kind of all go in this together, we can create more change. And that's really appealing, I think, for young people that are looking for a career to get into. I mean, why not choose this one?
Right. And
Um,
I'm scared of competition. And I would challenge that to younger generations coming in too is don't back away from competition, learn from them, right? Because again, we all bring different things to the party. And I also say in the challenging times we live in now, collaboration is more important than it's probably ever been. So stay together. That's my advice.
how as you as a director of, sales, how do you find, a great new team member? Like, what are you doing to add to your team? Or are you guys at a standstill on your hiring? Like, how are you constantly hiring? Like, what does that look like behind the closed doors of Smithers? Because I know that's a huge challenge for us is getting people up to speed on our product. I mean, that can take 3 months of time just to learn our SOPs, and if it's not a great fit, it's like a poor investment. So I think there's a lot of small business owners out there that are, like, so afraid to, like, make that next hire, but how can we use that to help us grow? Or what is your process, I guess?
I can explain from the sales side and I can talk holistically about the company. One would think that we have thousands and thousands of people that work in North America for Smithers Oasis. No, my whole team, including myself, my sales group, and my customer service team, there's 11 of us. So people would go, oh, really? Just 11? But we're lean and mean. I always say that we get a lot done with very few people. We don't aggressively hire because, again, you mentioned it earlier, Corrine, is we don't have high turnover at Smithers-Oasis, right? So
Yeah.
it also says a lot about the culture. What
Mhm.
I love to do is promote within. And I can speak for other divisions and departments just within North America. If we've got great talent that we see in our production facility, for example, we've moved people from production into the distribution center, from there into marketing in some cases, into purchasing. We've shuffled people from marketing over into sales. So we're very big on succession planning, growing our people, promoting within if we can. And honestly, I've had a little turnover the last few years with retirements. That's been the biggest reason I've had turnover on my team is we've had people 40 plus years on the sales team that are starting to retire. So that says a lot too. But with that, the market's changing, the way we sell is changing, the way we go to market is changing. That I'm always looking for what's next, right? We just can't hire someone that might have 100 years of experience, but they're really not in the times that we need them to be in right now. But we're very big on succession planning at Smithers, and that's really what we do. We're always looking for good talent.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you never know what someone's talent is either. And it is true. Do you want someone that's very well tenured that has loads of experience that probably comes with like a really like hefty price tag on them, but they're well worth it? Or do you hire like a new person with a lot of enthusiasm to sell? We're very involved in the next gen, as I'm sure you guys are too. And I'm always trying to promote from the next gen, but there's a lot of things young kids don't know. And it's like we teach them. So what's the fastest way?
We do. And fast isn't always the best, right? This is also what I remind my team is again, if you invest in people and you invest in that training up front, their foundation is going to be stronger than if you just think, oh, go read this product book and learn about our foam. No, they need the hands-on. They need to see the whole experience on all of the products. So it might be, that good 90-day of really investing time and maybe more than what you even have the bandwidth that day, for example. But if you give your all into those people, no matter what business you're in, you'll see results come out of them at the end.
Hmm. That's awesome. So are there any new campaigns that are coming along that you are excited to see? Or, I mean, I feel like we've talked about so many things, so I don't know what else could be more exciting than that. But is there anything that um, has your attention right now, or something that you're super excited about for even 2026?
Yeah, I think growing on what we're doing, right? So I look at the big associations that we've got grounded in our industry between F and WFSA. I mean, they're those strong pillars of associations, right? We're always looking to grow and expand within those associations. Same kind of thing. Bring in good talent. What can we do differently? How do we stay relevant? That flower feeling, we're just continuing to grow and grow and grow. So for me, a lot of that effort, if we can follow those flowers, as we say at that flower feeling, just add flowers, right? Is the new campaign. We're launching that. I can't wait to see where that takes us because it's that second step of the whole self-care and emotional wellness that we were kind of banding together as an industry, and now we're moving it into just add flowers, which is pretty simple, bold, and I think it's going to resonate very well, especially across multiple generations in the industry. I think as we just have to keep our head down and focus, band together, and see where we can go.
Yeah, and I think that's such a great, like, campaign for Smithers product because it's like, if you just have this, all you have to do is add the flowers, right? It's like,
And probably some flower food, I think, in there.
oh, well, you got that. I mean, and that's okay. So is there anything that keeps you motivated and passionate about your work even when, like, the market faces challenges? Like, how do you stay motivated and excited? I mean, it's been a decade in, so I'm in the boat with you. It's like 10 years, but I feel like it's just the beginning, you know? I'm like, "Oh, what's beyond
I
the next mountain?"
Yeah. those 10 years go very fast, and I still think I'm new in the industry, and people say, no, you're not new. I still feel new. I tell my family and friends there are so many layers to the floral industry that you can't possibly not learn something every single day, right? Personally, I find inspiration in people. I know I've said the word people an awful lot, but I feel and get my inspiration from people. So even if we're at conventions and we have 4 hours sleep sometimes, I'm fine when I'm back around people the next day, and I can do that for a good 2 to 3 days. Then my husband gets the worst of me when I come home, right? But I love solving problems. I love lifting people up if they need help. I love watching other people's ideas come to fruition. I think it's incredible when you see something, from ground all the way up to execution. I love that. And I'm also very inspired by what I call the bigger purpose. So, what I mean by that is how we all have a bigger purpose to fuel something meaningful in other people's lives in this industry, right?
Mm.
And to a degree, when I sold paint, same kind of thing, because people, you change a paint color, it's great, but it just doesn't have that same emotional feeling that flowers bring to people. So that's where I get my inspiration.
Yeah. Well, it takes a lot longer to paint a whole room than it does to just give a bouquet of flowers. So, well, we might need to have that. It's like
That's it.
when you painted your room, just add flowers now. I mean, we could do a collaboration with Sherman Williams. I think
That's right.
this is the
There you
next
go.
thing. No. Oh, and I wanted to mention too that we are both early members in the Women in Flowers organization.
In fact,
And
as we were having this call, our little book club invite popped up on my screen. So
oh, really? Yes. I mean, I love all the ladies in that. And if anybody's watching this and you're a woman in flowers and you don't have a scarf yet, because when you're initiated, you get the scarf, the annual scarf. But I love that. And I love that, I think all of my closest friends are in the industry, and more than anything, most of them are women, right? As other women, we need to lean in. And I feel like it's such a nice bond that we all share because we all work in this big, beautiful industry. And if you can say, hey, this is what happened to me, or this is how we're getting through this, or this is the great book that I just read that helps me carry on as a mom, like as a work, um,
yeah,
that,
it's really come a long way, hasn't it? Because I think the
yeah.
first time we got together as women in flowers, there might have been a dozen of us, and we were crammed into a room, like a little hotel room at Doral during one of the WFSA conventions. And now every event in the floral industry, we've got our women in flowers. So I thank everyone that's been behind that. The social posts are great. And I can tell you, Corrine, it wasn't that way 10 years ago when I started in this industry. So we've come a long way.
No, I mean, it's not, I don't always mean to be like girl power, but I run an all female led company. So it's kind of like I have that to stand on, which I feel like Smithers, there's a lot of women there too. But what I will tell you, when I walked into some of those wholesale conventions, there were just so many men in that. That was a little intimidating as like a young lady to be like, okay, I have a point of view here. Can I say anything? And so when you're celebrated by your sorority sisters of sense, we all feel a little bit taller and aren't afraid to like voice our opinions or see the change that needs to be made. And so like I look at to women like you that look, you came into that association and during your tenure they changed the website, the branding. It was almost like they were waiting for a woman's seal of approval to be like, check, okay, we can do this. Like the women say yes. So
Women in business, like fight through it. Don't be intimidated by that. Because even in my 20s, when I entered the paint world, very male oriented. But guess what I did? I thought, gosh, how am I going to get in with that? I started golfing.
oh,
And that's another way you can get in and do networking and meet people and fight through. And then, in a strange way, if people go, wow, she can actually hold her own on the golf course with a bunch of guys, I bet she's not so bad around a boardroom table. So just, push through all that stuff would be my advice to the younger women out there that are starting their careers.
well, I have to say that I participated in the Cal Flowers golfing event and I beat you. I came in. That was my very first golf event and I got third place. So I'm a natural. But no, just you got to pick someone that's a ringer on your team if it's because it's kind of best ball is what they do. What this means is when you shoot, everybody gets a shot and then whoever gets closest, that's where you play from. And we just had someone really good. So I looked
That's
like a rock star out there with all those guys, but you're a pretty big competitor out there. You're out there every single match, and it is not, it's very warm in
Yeah.
Miami where most of these things are taking place. It's very hot out there, Karen. You're a trooper.
It was fun. We actually just brought that back 2 years ago, I wanna say, to WFSA now, so it's probably gonna double in size this coming March for FDC because it's starting to catch on with more people. And by the way, we had an all-women team plus spectators that rode around with us last year, so we wanna definitely encourage more people to come out. Yeah,
I
it's fun.
I love to go because I get to dress up and I get a cute, like, good golfing outfit, and they do pass out, like, cigars, and, it's just so fun. I just love all the props, like, if you just get 1 or 2 pictures of you swinging the club, like, what
That's right.
you know,
That's
it works out. Well, we've got to the rapid fire portion of our questions. I know you love this, Karen. Uh,
Yes. Okay. Let's I'm ready. I'm
okay.
think this is the worst part for me. Okay, let's go.
No, I know she was warned, by, Kelly and Laura over there, so you knew it was coming. I usually just drop it at the end on people, but we'll see how you do.
Okay.
Alright. Karen, what is your favorite word in another language?
Amour.
That's everyone's favorite word.
I didn't even practice that. I swear to God. Um, I grew up in Canada, so I speak French, and I would say amour would be my favorite word in another language. I love people, right?
I love that, and I forgot that you're from, Canada. I love all of Canada. What is your drink of choice?
Oh, well, aside from I'm into Element electrolyte drinks, LMNT. If no one's tried it, try it.
Mhm.
Would be my daily drink on top of water, but I do like a crisp, cold Sauvignon Blanc. I'm into that right now.
Very nice, me too. I love it.
Good.
What is your favorite flower?
Oh boy. I would say hydrangea. I thought about this one because I figured you might ask, but here's why. Hydrangeas are versatile, they're timeless, and they're what's the word? I like delivers impact, I think. Like you can't miss that if it's in an arrangement or whatever. I love a good hydrangea. Yeah.
Okay. I love them too.
And we didn't practice this either.
No, we
So
didn't, we didn't. What's one item you cannot leave home without?
jewelry. I always have to have my jewelry on. I call it my armor of confidence, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, I have to layer on the jewelry. Even if I go to the grocery store, I can have no makeup, but I have to have my jewelry on. There you go.
Well,
I know you like
well, and that's true because whenever I sit next to Karen, she always, like, will make, a point to compliment something that I'm wearing, and I'm like, "Oh," and then you show me your jewelry too. I love that, so I love that.
important.
Um, it is. Summer, winter, spring, or fall, where would you like to find yourself amongst the seasons?
I will say this sounds lame. I love all the change of the seasons, but I love fall because I'm ready by then to put on a good pair of jeans and a good hoodie. I'm done
Mm.
with summer stuff, right? So fall would be one of my favorites.
Are you into the pumpkin spice?
No, I'm kind of over pumpkin spice. I'm sorry for all those pumpkin spice lovers, but I OD'd on pumpkin spice coffee probably 10 years ago. And then I stopped drinking coffee, and there went the pumpkin spice. I'm
Okay,
done.
alright. Morning or evening time?
Oh, I'm more of an evening person.
Hmm,
Definitely. I get up early, but my brain clicks in as the day moves on, and I'm more productive after everyone else has shut down.
okay. You're
Person.
you're driving home on the baton, like, you're the one, like,
Yep.
pulling the lap at the end.
I
Love
love
that.
yeah.
What's a hobby you've always wanted to try but you haven't yet?
Oh, now that's a good one. Oh, you've stumped me. You can play cricket sounds now. A hobby. I maybe hockey. I grew up in Canada. Girls didn't play hockey back in the 80s when I was growing up, and I still look back and I think, gosh, I wish I'd played hockey even as a hobby. So that's kind of lame, but I'm going to use hockey.
No, but I think that you could do that hockey swing on the golf course, and that's what I would love to see. What was
We'll do it. We'll do the Happy Gilmore when we're together.
That's it, Happy Gilmore. Although I didn't like Happy Gilmore too, so I think they missed the mark on that.
Do it.
Are you more of a thinker or a doer?
Doer.
That sounds appropriate.
Yep.
Mhm. A place you would most like to travel that you haven't?
Gosh, I've been a lot of places in Europe, but never Italy. I'd love to go to Italy. Little Tuscany, wine, chef, pasta, Italy. That's probably top of my list right now.
I love it. I'm going with you. I'll be there.
Let's go.
Um, what is for dinner tonight?
Good question. I have no, that's another thing. Sometimes I know what I'm going to cook, sometimes I don't. My husband made chicken quesadillas last night. That was nice. No,
Okay.
maybe we'll go out. We'll celebrate this tonight.
Maybe a little Italian.
Okay, maybe. There you do. I'll do that.
Song. If you were to do karaoke, what is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, these boots are made for walking is one of my favorite because it has a lot of action to it, right? I love that
I
karaoke.
love that song too. I might steal that one from you. What is your hidden talent?
Hidden talent. Some of my team members know this. I'm a piano player. Not everybody knows that. And I don't currently play actively right now, but yes, I was a big piano player growing up. I even taught little kids how to play piano. So that's definitely something a lot of people don't know.
Oh my gosh, did you ever audition for, like, Miss America or something and that was your talent? No?
Oh, no,
No. Okay.
not that, but I was very classically trained. I thought it, in fact, I wanted to be a music therapist when I grew up, but I never went that path, which I'm really glad because then I wouldn't be in this beautiful floral industry.
I love it. I we need to showcase this time at this somewhere. I'm going to demand that. Okay. What is, your favorite dance move? And can you show it to us?
No. I'm I'm like Elaine on those Seinfeld episodes where I think I can dance in my brain, and if I see myself on video, I almost wanna fall over. I don't know. I used to teach aerobics too, so I'm kind of like that aerobics teachery type person on the dance floor that thinks she looks good, but I don't. I can't dance.
You know, I bet we can take your face and make you playing the piano and dancing at the same time, and I'm really looking forward to that AI image. So
Wait, I can't wait. Yes.
noted. What is the most, unusual flower you've ever seen?
You know, this is embarrassing. I don't know the name, but it looks like a brain. Do you know it's like a fuzzy brain? What's the flower name? I'm
It's
embarrassed.
called a celosia.
Love
Mhm.
that. Love it. I pet it. Like I feel like you,
Fuzzy.
yeah,
Yes.
it's beautiful.
I
Yeah.
love it so
That's
much.
the
And
difference.
yeah, and that is one of my favorite flowers as well. Karen Oie, like joy, it has been such a pleasure to catch up with you. Thank you so much for joining us today. If someone wants to reach out to you, where can they connect with you?
They can connect with me on koy at smithersoasis.com. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, not as heavily as Corrine is, but I'm out there. So you can definitely find me. And thank you so much for having me today.
It's been so fun to catch up. And let me ask you, where's the next place I'm going to see you? If not on the golf course at
Uh,
the Doral, like,
so probably Doral will be the next time, I'm going to guess. And
okay.
to a women's book club or some other event for our women's and flowers, but I'll for sure see you in March.
All right. Well, when you guys run into Karen, tell her you saw her here with us. And thank you so much for tuning in.
Thanks again, you guys. Have a good day.
All right. Until next time.
All right. Bye.